Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Thursday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we got so much to catch up on. And first of all, apologies for not having a pre and post game show for the Lakers matchup a couple of nights ago against the Dallas Mavericks. But we're going to get into that in the latter portions of this show and also touch on the Lakers matchup between the San Antonio Spurs on last night that came down to the wire, although it shouldn't have because the Lakers had the game very well in hand going into that fourth quarter. But first, I want to touch on the suspension of Draymond Green. Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors, as we all know. You've seen it by now. I didn't see it live when it happened, but I watched it later. And I'm telling y'all what, I'm not trying to be funny, but before I saw it actually happen, what I saw was Draymond Green's press conference when he said, hey, man, I take ownership of the things I do. I take ownership. If I do something on purpose, I'm going to tell you I do it on purpose. You know what I mean? And I think Draymond, to that extent, is telling the truth. He will say if he does something on purpose, he'll do it. In this particular instance, he said it was an accident. He was flailing, trying to sell a call. And I kind of took Draymond Green for his word of it. But then I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw all of a sudden the actual play where Draymond Green turned around and looked like one of them tornadoes that came through here the other day, and he twisted around like the Tasmanian devil and slapped the thunder out of Jokic Nurkic, man. And I'm like, man, ain't no way that was a mistake, Draymond. I'm sorry. And he's been suspended indefinitely. Will it be longer than Ja Morant? Ja Morant never put his hands on anybody. And I'm not going to get into the whole Ja Morant thing. Right now, there's neither the time nor the place for that. But, man, I'm not going to lie. And I know it shouldn't be funny and I shouldn't be laughing, but I watched that play over and over again, and I was just like, man, what in the hell wrong with Draymond Green, man? But look at Draymond right now. What foul? What foul? Looking like Debo on Friday. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, one more thing I want to touch on before I get into some good Lakers basketball is that of Giannis Antetokounmpo last night. Went out and had himself a game. If I'm not mistaken, Giannis scored 64 points last night, or maybe 66. Whatever it was, he went off last night. And, of course, after the game, he wanted the game ball, and they couldn't find it. I think he had some words with Halliburton and some other people because one of the Indiana staff had taken the ball. But I think ultimately he was able to get the game ball for himself. But, man, at the end of the day, I kind of wanted to address this only because you got all these clowns, all these bozos on Twitter or whatever you want to call it nowadays, social media or whatever, going around saying, oh, here is further proof that Giannis is a better player and will go down as a better player than LeBron James, because I believe LeBron James' high is 61. But it's something I want to point out to you all real quick. And it's not that I can get into it all day, every day, any damn day. But I choose not to, not on this particular day, on this particular broadcast of this particular show. But what I do want to put up this graphic for you right here. Take a look at the screen. And what I want to point out to you, one thing about Giannis's performance last night is 32 free throw attempts. 32 free throw attempts in one game for a one Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then, my bad, y'all know what I'm trying to say. But then, LeBron James's last 6 games, only 31 free throw attempts. So you talking about Giannis got more free throws in one game than LeBron James gets in one game. And take a look at the graphic. If you're talking about the season, last season, Giannis played 63 games and had 772 free throws. Whereas you look at LeBron James, the last 2 seasons combined, 111 games. Now, this is compared to 63 games of Giannis. So you're talking about almost double, because last time I checked, 60 times 2 was 120. Now, you're talking about 111 games. You're talking about, that's a lot more games. But LeBron, in the last 2 seasons combined, 663 free throws compared to Giannis's 772. Now, we both know that Giannis and LeBron James like to get downhill towards the basket. and they like to get and draw contact if they can on their way to the rim, and they both play a lot of bully ball, if you will. But how is it one player, and they say, well, we can't see this for LeBron because he's big, he's strong, it's hard to call it. But how can you call it for Giannis, who, dare I say, is bigger and stronger than LeBron James? So, man, something got to give. So you want to say this and say that, and then I got another point, and I'm going to leave it alone for all you clowns out there talking about, well, this proves that Giannis better than LeBron because his career average is better. Well, in that case, I guess Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell better than MJ then, since they done scored 70. I guess Kobe better than him too, since he got the young 80 on him. You understand me? That's where y'all head be messed up. You know what I'm saying? But let's switch gears for a minute. I want to switch gears and talk about, first off, I'm work my way backwards, but I do want to talk about that of Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has been on a tear as of late, including the championship game. If you look at the last 3 games, take a look at this graphic here, and you will see Anthony Davis, 37-10 with 4 steals at 56%, 37-11 with 2 blocks at 71%, and the game before that out in Vegas, 41-20 and 4 blocks, shooting 67%. And if the Lakers can get this version of Anthony Davis night in and night out, then it's going to be hell to pay the captain. And then you get LeBron James healthy, and you get both of them going into the playoffs right now. I'm telling you, the Lakers will be a dangerous team to mess with. And then, AD last night against the Spurs was a great game. It looked like he just took that personal challenge going up against Wemby the way he did. Looked like he dominated the game for the most part up until the fourth quarter, where Wemby really started to flourish down the stretch. Of course, for those of you who didn't see, he hit a step back 3, then he hit another 3, kind of went on an 8-0 run himself. One great play by Anthony Davis down the stretch, because that last 3 could have cut it to 2 by Wemby, but after Anthony Davis had missed a 16 or 17 footer, the San Antonio Spurs got the rebound, and then on the outlet pass, they weren't really paying attention. Anthony Davis was able to steal it and get an easy dunk right under the basket. That pushed the lead back up to 5, so that when Wemby hit the 3 on the following possession, that cut it to 2, when actually that could have been tying the game. So good heads up for Anthony Davis, playing phenomenal defense, leading the Lakers on last night. One thing I would like to see more of, and I'm going to touch on that Dallas game too, since I didn't really get a chance to break it down for you all. I did miss it because I had a previous engagement that I had to attend, so didn't get to go back and watch a whole lot of film. Did watch some of the key highlights of that game, so I will touch on that and what I saw, just to give you somewhat of a breakdown. But on yesterday's game, I would like to see a little bit more Max Christie minutes. I did see that Hachimura got the nod to start along with Cam Reddish, and they put Taurean Prince in that shooting guard spot, which didn't work out too bad. And if you really take a look at it, the wing players for the Lakers played a pretty good game for the most part until the latter parts of the fourth quarter, where they got a little bit lackadaisical on defense. LeBron James sat out the night, they say, for a calf injury, but that's the same calf that had bothered him some games ago. They had to put something, but we all know this was more so a load management, because somehow Darvin Ham managed to play LeBron James 40 minutes against Dallas. Somehow he managed to do that, but yet not be able to pull off the game, because I think he got out coached, because what they were doing in that Dallas game is they started off blitzing Luka, and they was bringing people over from the weak side, and Luka started making them pay, hitting Exum and hitting Hardaway for 3 after 3 after 3. And, Exum had that type of game. He's not going to always have that, but if you really think about it, Exum last year shot 42% in the Euro League on catch and shoot jumpers, so it's really not that surprising. The year before that, I think in the Spanish League, he might have shot 50%, but at the end of the day, the Lakers just could have adjusted better. What I did notice was they were putting the Dallas Mavericks, Jason Kidd, who was a phenomenal coach, by the way, said he's going to take Lively, slide Lively out the paint, force AD to have to come out the paint, because he can't get that 3-second call and, just clog up the middle. So by him coming out the paint, Luka has the ability to blow by and get to the hole and get an easier basket. Or if Anthony Davis decides to go in and out, he could do the same thing. If weak side help, then that's what Luka kept making them do. And I felt like, the Lakers really was letting, Luka, they didn't want him to get jump shots. So they blitzed often, which was allowing the ball to come out of his hands. And, the Dallas players was making them pay. They probably could have changed up some of that, during the course of that game. But at the end of the day, the Lakers were right there. They got off to a bad start. That's something they cannot do. And, it just seems like Jason Kidd has the Lakers numbers, since he last coached for them, So that's something, I think the Lakers are a very formidable opponent for anybody throughout the playoffs and have a chance. And especially when Vanderbilt, people don't understand how much Vanderbilt means to the team. He did miss that Dallas game. You saw him back in the fold on yesterday. When you have a Jared Vanderbilt in the game, you got somebody that's going to do the dirty work, clean up the glass, get all the loose ball, the second chance balls, which is very important when it comes to winning ball games. But the Lakers, right now they sit in that 5th seed. They just got to keep chipping away at victories. They got another game Friday night against San Antonio. Should be a winnable game. I think the game after that is against Chicago, then New York. So these are some winnable games on their schedule coming up. So if the Lakers could continue to separate themselves, get themselves several games above 500, and they'll be looking good, because in their rearview mirror over the last 13 games, lo and behold, cross hallway rivals, Los Angeles Clippers, with that addition of Harden, are starting to gel and have been 10-3 in the last 13 games. So, if I had to call it right now, I know in New York they call it a Subway Series whenever the Yankees play the Mets in the World Series or something like that. But I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the Freeway Series. If we get LA against LA in the Western Conference Finals, I think it'll be great for the NBA. You have major Hall of Fame superstars on each team vying to get a championship in front of the Los Angeles crowd. And it would be crazy to see LA against LA in the playoffs and just see how the crowds will react. And I want to see how that next year would be even better once the Clippers open their stadium in Inglewood, which I hear is a very nice facility. But that's something we could talk about on another day as well. But man, I appreciate y'all joining me for today's show. If you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, and most certainly hit that notification bell. And as always, man, this is your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real, and much love to these haters. I'm out.